When will crypto take off again? What is going on? What are we waiting for? I will cover all that in this video. So welcome to my channel. My name's Mitchell. And just right off the bat, it's looking like still Wednesday. So the Fed interest rate cut happens this Wednesday. So just in 2 days from now. Today's Monday. And it seems like we're still waiting for that. So the market's still kind of just consolidating. I mean, you can see Bitcoin on the 7 days only up 2.32%, Ethereum almost 4, XRP basically flat on the 7 day, and even on the 24-hour, kind of flat. Ethereum down 2.5%, and XRP 1.3. So it seems like we're still waiting, and it's this still. Yeah, consolidation, manipulation, wait and see. I mean, there's a lot of money on the sidelines right now. Fear and greed is still neutral. Altcoin season is creeping up there, right? I think we hit around like 75 or close, 74 or 72 or something, recently. Very close. And all these other coins, alternative to Bitcoin is what an altcoin is, if you didn't know, is popping up. So we're about to hit, hopefully an altcoin season here soon, which would be 75 or higher. But again, it just seems like people are still just waiting on the sidelines for the Fed rate, interest rate cut on Wednesday. The interest rate that people are assuming is just a 0.25, and like 90% are thinking that, or maybe even more now. I haven't looked at the chart recently, but I think there is still a small amount that's like maybe the possibility of a 0.5, which would be wild. So if we get a 0.25, I think a lot of that's baked into the market, and this is my opinion. And we could even maybe see kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation that happens. So I almost wouldn't be surprised if crypto, went down a little bit and then it will recover. But that's if we get a 0.25. If we get a 0.5, I could see crypto, kind of taking off a little bit, and officially hitting maybe altcoin season, some of these, altcoins pumping and stuff, and even Bitcoin pumping. But again, we're not going to assume that or anything. We're just going to wait and kind of see what happens. But I wanted to show you guys the chart too. So here's XRP. I love using the Fibonacci retracement. And right now we're just in this tight, kind of consolidation in this area and kind of still on a downtrend. We kind of broke this trend line, but then it rejected the fib. So you take that pivot high to that pivot low, and these are rejection zones. And it hit that 0.5, and there's also there's a resistance right here at the $3.13 that it rejected and closed below. So you kind of have both of these, and then you even have the 0.618 up here that we haven't touched. It's coming back to that trend line, to that 21 EMA to try to find some support. So we did kind of break this, but we see if we can hold officially above it and not drop back below. Bitcoin, the same thing. From this pivot high to this pivot low, these are some rejection zones, and it rejected the 0.5 on Bitcoin, but we're seeing some volume come in here in the TTM squeeze. I forgot about that in the XRP. The TTM squeeze is still showing some green. We haven't gotten to this lighter green that then enters the selling, which is this like pink and then purple. So it's still showing green, so we'll see if that holds for the daily, because I'm just using it daily right now. Ethereum's nice. It hasn't really come back down to the 0.5 or 0.618. It's still doing pretty well, and it's above this 21 EMA and maybe starting to retest it again in this little zone right here. We're just going to be kind of flip the resistance to support maybe. So if we can find some support around here, that would be nice. But it's, coming down a little bit. And like I said, it's just, there's just constantly these liquidity sweeps, this manipulation, if you don't think that's happening, then I want to live in the world that you live in because it's happening and it's kind of annoying. So let me know what your guys' thoughts, because for me, it's kind of annoying, and it's kind of just like, I miss kind of the simple days when crypto would just do these big bullish runs, and then they would do these, pretty big bearish dives, but I don't know, it's just kind of exciting. Now it's just like so manipulated and so much chop and so much liquidity sweeps and so much this, that, and the other. Gets annoying, but that's just maybe me personally, right? It might not be annoying. You might be loving this right now. It's up to you. But that being said, always have a plan. I can't stress this enough, and I always talk about this on my channel, and this is just for educational and entertainment purposes only, but always have a plan, stick to that plan, make that plan a long-term plan so you can kind of weather all this. If you're just continuing to dollar cost average through all this doesn't really matter a whole lot to you, but it is something just put on your radar. And I know not everyone has a long-term plan. Some people are day trading, scalping, even going short on cryptos and stuff. So depending on where you are, Wednesday, well, it doesn't really matter where you are. It's just Wednesday is going to be a big day in general to see what happens with the Fed interest rate. And that's, seems what we're waiting for. And, after that, will crypto kind of start making some moves maybe. And the more stuff that comes out this month of September and October with ETFs and stuff, pertaining to XRP, and some more adoption between now and the end of the year with Ethereum and Bitcoin and any of these other altcoins is happening. So it seems like kind of what we're waiting for too. But the nearest thing is going to be Wednesday. So put that on your calendar. But yep, that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. As always, have a plan, stick to that plan. Just can't stress that enough. But also, as always, it's your life, so you do whatever you want to do. Don't listen to me. Just thanks for giving me some of your time and checking in here on my channel. Feel free to check out more of my stuff, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and maybe catch you guys on the next one. Peace.